Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash, Season 4. So the back half of The Flash this season has started off pretty strong with us watching the trial of the Flash storyline play out along with Barry's time in prison and how Central City fares during that time. Barry has been, for the most part, dealing with prison pretty well, but as we saw right at the end of last episode, that being episode 12, that will be about to change after the very suspect looking Warden Wolf captured Barry using his powers, somehow on a secret camera he had installed outside of Barry's cell. Barry is then put in the metahuman wing of Iron Heights along with most of the villains he has taken on over his time as the Flash, but the main ones the show will focus on are the metahumans that were created from the bus that was next to that opening in the Speed Force when Barry escaped. But only one of those metas will be focused on in depth in this video, and that is of course, as you can tell by the title, Becky Sharp, aka Hazard. But of course, before we go on, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on what I go over in this video, and whether you agree with me, disagree with me, or whether you just have a different take on them. Just leave all those opinions down there in the comments. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like on it to show your support, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new. So as we know, while Barry is locked up, Team Flash are trying to prove his innocence and find anything they can to pin the DeVoes with incriminating evidence. That is, when there isn't any other metas or criminal activities going on in Central City. So we do know that eventually Barry will get out of prison, that's obvious, and by the looks of it, you would have to think it will be before episode 15 or 16. I mean, this week there is a prison break sort of thing going on, so he could get out this week, but he would have to be a fugitive after that if that's the case. So I think we might be waiting another episode or two before Barry is properly out of Iron Heights and a free man. But yeah, as I said, Barry getting out of prison is eventually going to happen, but what isn't certain is how he will get out of prison. What will be the thing that swings luck his way and gets him out of Iron Heights? Well, that is the main discussion of this video. As we know in the upcoming episode, Barry will be trying to get himself as well as the bus metahumans currently residing in Iron Heights out of there in order to avoid Aminette Black and whatever sick and twisted plans she has for them. So along with Barry in this episode will be Silbert Rundin, who we met last episode, Ramsey Deacon aka Kilgore, Mina Chayton aka Black Bison, and finally Becky Sharp aka Hazard. In the trailer, you do get a hint at Barry talking to Becky separately and trying to get her to trust him and what he is trying to do, and we do see her eventually tagging along with the rest of the team later on. So if Barry is successful in helping her, maybe she might feel the need to repay him somehow. It is important to remember that Becky isn't really that bad of a person. She is just a person that had nothing go her way in life, and one day that all changed and she just took advantage of that and went a bit too far with it. But it would be pretty harsh to classify her as a villain, like some of the other people we met on the show. But back in episode 3 of this season when we met Becky, we had an intro where the Thinker was keeping an eye out on Becky Sharp. But let's quickly actually watch part of that before we go on.
Correction. Subject previously lived with her boyfriend. Subject's occupation, blackjack dealer.
Or should I hit?
Subject's temperament,
I don't know, man. I think you should just hit. Why don't you hit?
defeatist.
Okay, I'll hit.
Great. Perfect. And
Got 21.
but it is here. Wow. Oh, wow. Here you go, sir. Congratulations. Sure. Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Looks like I found my good luck charm.
Hey!
My apple teeny.
Oh no. Can I get a reference, you think? No?
Subject believes no matter what she does, the universe will conspire to punish her.
Another job. Ow.
Or as she writes on her MySpace page, I am jinxed.
Ah! Great! Here goes another car! Fine.
Subject's low self-esteem suggests she will be easily manipulated.
Wait!
So we heard DeVoe say that she would be easily manipulated due to low self-esteem and other things along with that. But who would be the one doing the manipulating of her? Sure, automatically you would have to think it would be DeVoe himself or someone associated with him that would be manipulating her into doing something, but what if it isn't one of them? As we know, DeVoe has seemed to have like planned everything or predicted what's going to happen throughout this season and ahead of that as well. So what if all these metas being caught along with Barry being in prison was a part of his plan? So then Barry, knowing of Becky's powers due to him being the Flash and the one to have taken her down, would be able to use her abilities, or at least like manipulate her possibly, into using her abilities of luck essentially to help him get out of Iron Heights. The big issue I guess some would have with this is that if she were to use her abilities in order to help Barry and get him out, wouldn't that possibly put Marlize or DeVoe's wife or the mechanic, or even DeVoe and his new body of Dominic Lance in trouble? Wouldn't someone have to be held responsible in order for Barry to get out? Well, I guess, but it could play out in a way in which the evidence against Barry in regards to the murder of DeVoe is now seen as, well, not convincing enough and not enough to keep him in jail. As I did say, we do see Barry speaking to Becky separately, and this could be him trying to convince her to help him, as Barry would know that she isn't a bad person, that she is a good person. She's just a person who was in a bad situation that wanted something good to go her way for once. Also, I think it was also in episode 3 of this season, DeVoe said that Becky Sharp, or Hazard, would be the most useful or important of the bust metahumans or something like that. Which, if you think about it, is a pretty big call, saying that DeVoe sort of needed Dominic and his abilities in order to keep going and push his plan much further ahead. So due to DeVoe saying that, you would have to think that either Becky has a role in pushing Barry deeper into DeVoe's plan by getting him out of prison, or it could be for later in the season. But just seeing that Becky is in this situation now, Barry is speaking to her privately, I'm leaning more towards her swinging luck Barry's way in the case of DeVoe's murder and setting him free, but somehow not getting the DeVoes in trouble. I don't know how that's possible, I just feel they won't be swapped in for Barry's punishment. But then again, she could have a hand in getting Barry out of prison as well as helping DeVoe down later in the track of season 4, but we'll have to wait and see in regards to that. But just with certain things we've seen, I have a feeling she's just going to have a hand in getting Barry out. So will Barry get out of prison this episode? Like I said, probably not. Maybe, but that might be too much just for that one episode. Like, there seems to be going a couple of storylines in this episode. Like, Amunet is involved with this one, but you think like outside of prison she's going to have other things going on. There's going to be a storyline with Iris as well as Ralph in this episode. So I think for all of that to happen and then Barry get out at the end of the same episode, I think it's too much. So we might have to wait till the next episode where Becky might help Team Flash in regards to getting Barry to jail then, but we'll have to wait and see. So if you had to put your money on it, I wouldn't say episode 13 will be the episode Barry gets out, but most likely episode 14 with the help of Becky if this whole thing does play out. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'll be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show your support. Let me know in the comments section down below. What do you think of what I've talked about in this video? Do you agree with me that Becky Sharp or Hazard could possibly have a role in getting Barry out of jail? Just let me know all of your opinions down there in the comments. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.